if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Mana Blitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
Wait, where are you taking her? Oh, come on.
Mike Shue.
I can't see the baby. I won't scare her.
How's it going?
What's up, darling? Look how beautiful you are. Hi. I know. I'm scary looking. But look at the scary man below me.
Oh.
Look at that. He looks like a knockoff Flavor Flav from Norway.
The white trash version. Oh, Andy's gone.
What's up, sweet pea? I see the videos of you and your dad having fun. You look like a happy kid. Yes, you and your dad having fun. Yes, it's awesome.
He's on the show.
Hi. Hi. What's up, Laura?
Hi.
Hi.
What's happening? Baby relief. Hello.
Hi. Hi. You are now. Clara is now the smart. No offense, Laura. Clara is the smartest person on this screen right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that included her. That was just the three of us.
Yeah.
You just confirmed she knows dogs go woof. So
Awesome.
What was her first word?
Is
Yeah.
she talking? What's she
I think-
saying?
what was her first word?
From the TV show she watches.
Oh, Bluey.
Bluey.
Bluey. And
What
the
TV
first
show
song.
is that?
Bluey.
Yeah, it's called Bluey. It's about a blue
It's
dog.
called Bluey.
It's like from the TV show she watches. Oh,
Bluey.
methamphetamine. You guys watching Euphoria?
Oh.
You guys watch Euphoria together?
No. She watched it without me.
Oh,
Oh.
don't you hate that?
Yeah,
That's called what's that called? Netflix cheating?
it is.
Yeah,
It's
which is ridiculous. It's a streaming service. You can watch it whenever you want. Calm the fuck down.
Well,
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
food cheating. Like if you have a restaurant, like a certain restaurant that you guys go to, and that's your
Mhm.
place, you can't go there without the other person.
That's
Right?
bullshit.
That's
bullshit. I'll go there with
Bullshit.
it. If I want a fucking taco from my favorite taco place, I don't give a fuck. I'm going. And then if she's like, she gets mad, I'm like, well, let's go back.
Wow.
Fuck it. I don't
Exactly.
care. Fuck that. It's 25 years. Like she cares.
Oh.
She's probably like, oh, I'm glad
quality.
you went because I don't want to go with you anymore.
Wow.
We have I think like two spots that are like that. One's
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry about this, you guys. I had the fan flying here. Hold on a second.
and
I
my
gotta
window's
ta- I-
open. You just reminded me.
I gotta take a piss the size of Maine. I'll be back. Oh.
Is that piss going to taste like blueberries?
What's gonna taste like blueberries?
Isaiah's urine.
Oh,
Yes.
has he been eating a lot of blueberries, or is that
No, he
just
said
what-
he's got to take a piss the size of Maine. And I'm thinking, well, they're number one export, or else it's going to taste like fresh timber. I don't know. Or hippies.
you know, just picking up notes of lobster and meth.
Right. Yeah. Meth and, fried dough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It tastes like meth and outlet stores.
It tastes like they haven't made it to the big time of New Hampshire yet.
Tastes like your sister's vagina. And of course, you know what that tastes like because you're her brother, right?
And she
Oh,
looks
that's bad.
exactly-
Maine incest joke. That nobody in Maine has incest.
Oh
okay?
no, that's just
No,
why they
come on.
talk like that.
Incest is everywhere. Okay.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Unfortunately.
Oh, I guess
Isaiah just came through the gateway to forever.
yes.
Sorry, I've been drinking whiskey all day.
Have
All
you?
day. Yeah. I
Good
get
for
this-
you.
I'm just I'm in a lot of pain, and so I'm just self-medicating. And
Why are you
You
in
know.
pain?
I pulled this muscle to I didn't pull it. It's been stretched thin because
your cock alone.
Because of my fat, probably.
Ooh,
I don't know
Jesus
why.
Christ.
It's stretched thin around above my hip, right? So it's at the point where it could become a hernia.
Ooh,
Never in my life. All right, but I'm at that age.
you're getting older.
It's thin, and basically what it was holding in, like fat and internal organs, is pressing against it and creating this small souvenir Nerf football size bulge.
Oh, what the
that's
fuck?
in my side. And at first it didn't hurt, but now it's, from what my doctor explained, it's pinching nerves.
Oh,
and
dude.
So I can feel the pain shooting down into my groin and then down to my back to the top of my ass crack.
Oh my God.
And let me tell you, the last time I felt that pain, I was having an awesome time. And this is not like that at all.
The last time you paid cash to feel that.
Exactly. Right? I forget how much, but with inflation now, it was probably at least $500 worth of fun.
Since Josh and I met, we've had numerous conversations about back pain, have we not? Dude.
Well, you had surgery. You had major back problems.
When did I meet you, Josh? 14? No.
Yeah, 2014, because
I got, so regardless, I think it's what fucking year is it now? 20. Whenever I had surgery 4 years ago, but the fucking year and a half leading up to that sciatic pain was the worst fucking thing I'd ever felt in my life. And it started from you just talked about the ass cheek, shot all the way down my leg, and it was fucking excruciating.
So it was nerve based, or was it vertebrae?
Well, at the bottom of my spine, so let's call it L6 and L7. One of the discs.
Just side note, L7, great band from the 90s. All right, go ahead, Isaiah. Sorry, man.
I enjoyed them.
They were
probably
great.
played them on AAF back.
Yeah, they were really excellent band. Yeah. All right, sorry, buddy.
Eve 6, not so much. L7.
No, L7,
definitely.
yeah. L7 could definitely beat the shit out of E6. That's for sure, man.
Hey, they're still talented.
Yeah, they're there. They're cute. They're cute. They're on some fucking hits disc somewhere. No, I remember that fucking pain was unbelievable. And I went to numerous people. I remember Matt Hockman was working with, a fucking back surgeon out by you in Worcester. And I had a client that was a dentist that knew somebody at Tufts, and everybody was trying to get me in somewhere because they were just looking at me, and it was fucking excruciating. I was trying everything. I was trying acupuncture, the chiropractor, but it wasn't something that you could just, move around. It was, once I got to Dr. Rand at New England Baptist, the guy was like, here it is. Look at this MRI. This disc is deteriorated and it's squeezing the nerve. And that's the pain that you're feeling down here.
Right, okay.
Now, you don't have to get back surgery, but if these nerves die, we don't fix nerves. Nerves are dead. They're dead. So I remember meeting Josh, and Josh had he still does. We talk about it all the time. He has fucking back spasms, and it's just fucking,
That's because all he does is eat whole pizzas and drink. So that's going to catch up with you.
And now picking a child up that's not just getting smaller, she's getting bigger.
And she's getting bigger, and you're gonna, you hold her on the hip, and you're gonna get spina bifida.
Yeah,
parental spina bifida from holding that child on your hip while you're trying to pay for something and getting the right side of the card and the chip
now,
in the machine.
Do you get a spinal tap for spinal bifida?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor, Isaiah.
Hey, you're fucking
Jesus
hucking
Christ.
the spinal bifida word around.
Also,
Whatever,
Spinal
man.
Tap, another great band. I mean,
That's true. Yeah, Spinal Tap, excellent band. Yeah,
a lot of bands named after backs.
Yeah, right.
Who knew fucking Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy and Laverne and Shirley would be the guy in Spinal Tap?
Dude, Better Call Saul. Lenny,
So good.
Lenny, Michael
Lenny.
McKeon.
So good.
Some of his finest work.
Are you caught up with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just waiting. I'm drooling. I'm waiting for the new season.
The second half of the last season or whatever they're calling it. He is
incredible. What a fascinating character. I after about 10 minutes didn't even see Michael McKeon at all.
Right. Certainly didn't see Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so you've seen it all. I can't remember. There was, and the guy, was it Gilligan, who wrote it? So fucking good.
Vince Gilligan. Yeah.
Vince Gilligan. Thank you. There was a scene in one of the later episodes where the thing his brother used to wrap him up in came up again. Something happened to Saul. And remember, it was subtle. but that's how good he is. It's like that was fucking episodes of his brother wrapping himself up in fucking tinfoil because he thought he was
in the foil blanket.
Right.
Yeah,
but in one
blanket.
of the later episodes, like where we're just getting to the end, something happened. Like, was there a fire or something where I feel like that's something that, and Lucas would know this as a paramedic, you can wrap people up in things to stay warm. You see people after they run marathons, and they snuck that in there and offered it to Saul. And Saul was like, yeah, no, I'm fucking good. Because his brother was wrapped. Oh, dude,
right.
It was fucking just one of those
like
moments
a bad memory for him.
Right. But that's one of those shows. It's like, if you're not watching every fucking second, you're going to miss
little things. Yeah. Little things. Well, I want to take a moment to welcome Phil Esposito from the Minnesota North Stars onto the program. Phil, you're a legend, man. We love you. I thought you were dead, but that's my bad. So thanks for coming on, man. What's it like being a Hall of Famer?
Also, that's Tony Esposito who's dead, not Phil.
Oh, it's Tony. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to wait. Didn't Phil Esposito own the fucking Lightning? How'd they do
yes,
last
he
night?
did.
No,
they
eat a dick.
No.
Eat a dick. Stanley Cup champions. Eat a dick.
Does he still own the Lightning, or did he sell them?
No.
He's just a broadcast. He's a broadcaster for him. That's about it.
That's all he ever was. Fuck the Lightning. Like him with the Bruins. Don't get me wrong. Fuck him with the Lightning.
He was a top shelf player, man. Come on.
This thing reeks, man. This thing, it smells so bad. Like,
well, it's because it looks like you're living in your office space. So yeah, you should get a washing machine in there or a sink or something.
I should do
Lucas.
something, huh?
Jesus Christ. If you need a place to crash, you can come out here to Worcester and sleep here. We got a bed for you.
Really?
Yeah, man.
No, he's kidding. He's kidding.
No, Airbnb, absolutely. If he's going to
Can I bring my friend Chuck D?
You can bring Chuck D, but he's going to sleep in the car.
All this talk about Chuck D. Can you not get him on the show? Tighten up. Let's go.
I'm working on it, man. Believe me. Everybody that might have had any coincidental moments during that time at the craft tables, but it's more or less like asking odd questions to the
who's coming in?
Hey, what's up, baby?
Is that your
what's
maid?
going on?
That's my office manager.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, please don't write me up to HR.
Make the check out to Breaking the Ice podcast. He's late on his fucking payments.
$1,000 more.
Can I ask you Can I ask you a question? What is your name?
My name is Patricia Young.
Come on in, Patricia.
Can I ask you a question?
I gotta do some work. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You're only improving the show. Believe me. Let me ask you a question. Do you approve of Lucas? You're the office manager. Do you approve of Lucas living in the office?
When he needs to, yeah.
Really?
Oh, no.
Getting done.
Okay. He hasn't showered. He hasn't showered in days.
So I went from I went from like paper to cardboard, if that means anything.
That means nothing.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, Lucas. We didn't mean to interrupt your business time.
No. Fuck you. Fuck him. Fuck him.
You're fine.
That's okay. Take 5. We'll just talk about porn in the background.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So that Phil Esposito channel on Pornhub is amazing. I mean,
short guys with a little hump that used to play for the Bruins. That's hot.
Chicks wearing the old school North Star jersey, and he's like got the, he's got that, 47 Lightning hat on, and sorry.
Hey,
Lucas, how are you?
Who?
I've been good.
Is it the Tampa Bay Rays? Isn't that who plays hockey down there?
Yeah, they sell the medium shirts for a little over $1 at the dollar store.
Oh,
gosh, I saw your tweet like an hour ago.
Actually, Dave's top 10. Hey, do we have these extra small Colorado Avalanche and an extra small at the dollar?
That's right.
It's
the
no. We're selling the real big ones this year, bitch.
Oh, go Nordy.
Hey, I saw that one time in a Run DMC video in the 80s.
Boy, your comedy's fucking really helping this show.
I beat you to it, Lucas. I call them a knockoff Flavor Flav.
Listen. I don't know if this needs a racist cock, but I'm the white Flavor Flav. Back the fuck up.
Okay.
Well,
we get it. You're an Avalanche fan. We get it.
Hey, fuck off. We just won the cup. Eat a dick. I've been drunk for 3 weeks. What are you doing?
The knockoff Flavor Flav, he lives in Marblehead and he's got a reality show. It's not the flavor of love. It's the privilege of love.
Right. That's white
And
people
we're back.
problems.
Who's the guy that does?
First world
What's
problems.
the Charlie guy's name on the fishing guy?
Charlie Moore.
Charlie Moore?
Charlie Moore.
That would be great. The white Flava Flav and Charlie Moore together.
I'm gonna
Right.
text him right now. Get him on the show.
Instead of-
Come on.
Instead of Public Enemy, we could call it like, I don't know, Public Restroom.
Public
Or something like-
assholes.
Public.
White guy privilege asshole show.
Public drunk.
Dude, I've been drunk for 2 weeks during the Stanley Cup run. God
So,
bless America. Did I
Isaiah,
mention
you're an assistant captain. That's good to see.
This is Ray Bork's jersey, dude.
Oh, it should
Oh,
have
is
an
it? Oh, I
E.
didn't see the 77. That's very nice.
Instead of
Hold
an
on.
A, it
Here's
should
the
have
Ray
an
Bo-
E for
here's the Ray
traitor.
Borg.
Ray
He
Borg.
is not
Yeah.
a traitor. You're just trolling people, asshole.
Yeah, shut the
Stop
fuck
it.
up, Josh. Eat a
Jesus,
dick.
I was all for it. Ray brought that cup back to Boston. I was like, good for Ray.
To rub
For
it in
crying
our
out loud.
face.
Yeah, good. I'm glad he did.
I think it was more or
motivated
less to rub it on the Jacobs' face than anything else.
Thank you. It's not
was.
against the players.
It
I
was.
love the players. I love the team. I'll never root
know-
against the black and gold. Jacobs can fuck right off.
Yeah,
You
Lucas.
know,
Lucas,
Yeah.
as a hockey expert, let me ask you something about the Jacobs family. Your
Tons.
opinion on the decision to fire Cassidy instead of Sweeney.
Well, that's a really good question. So a lot of stuff on anything on how it coincides in any professional sport is based on how your team is doing.
Is this going to take long?
What?
Is this
What,
going
are
to
you
take long?
fucking kidding me? Sometimes this goes for 90 minutes. You're concerned about time?
I just want to make sure because he's long-winded. Go ahead.
No,
No.
we're finally talking about hockey on the Breaking the
So-
Ice podcast. Let him
I
talk
love
about
you.
hockey for
I
fuck's
love
So
sake.
you.
like, what the comfort that Don Sweeney had with Bruce Cassidy as a coach, it was very easy to say that Don Sweeney's job was safe because the team was winning.
Right.
Yeah, they made the playoffs
Contract
every year.
this year. A lot of stuff that happens, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things. I mean, honestly, a big thing too is that everything happens from the top down. Now, do you really think that certain decisions are made by Don Sweeney?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Do you think that certain decisions could be made above Don Sweeney that would keep certain things in the realm of, wow, let's just see what all the other teams in the last 10 years that have won the Stanley Cup, what have they done different?
Yep.
Are you telling me that the Supreme Court made a partisan decision and told the Jacobs family to fire Bruce Cassidy?
Well,
Is that what?
That would have made about as much sense as their decision last fucking week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Well,
Isaiah
see,
Moskowitz, everybody. Excellent.
The crazy part about it is Mike Commodore had a very interesting Mike Commodore had a very interesting interview on the Brick and Cam show many years ago, and it was about the time that he won a cup with Carolina and how quick they were to adjust to all the new rules and how quick they were able to get where they are now with everything. And as funny as this might sound, it's just like the Bruins just, I think as an organization, without their coaching and without their general manager, haven't crossed that plateau yet.
Yep.
And all of it starts with the Jacobses family.
It always goes back to them.
What's that?
It always goes back to them.
So of course, because they're the owners, but it's how they dictate what they want to know and how they want to perform. All right, the fucking cramming seats went up everybody's ass at the fucking TV.
Oh my God, right?
All right, but they're honestly more concerned, obviously, about building the real estate around the fucking TV garden.
And fucking Delaware North.
Delaware
Yeah,
North
they've always
Companies
been
controls
concerned.
all the concessions.
Yeah,
Dude.
they've always been more focused on other things, other revenue streams than
Right.
actually winning.
Dude,
Right,
prior to the whole Bork thing going down, and I get that he wanted to, they probably had a meeting, but as a Bruins fan for 20 years, 52 years old now, we can go through the litany of fucked up shit
Right.
that went on between how they treated Moog for being part of the, the union. And then when he would speak up, shit was weird when they didn't, when they didn't sign a fucking local kid, Keith Kachuk, for the love of God, because let's go through this shit. And one annoying thing after the next, and it never looked like from a
And then,
fan
all through the
standpoint.
2000s too. It's like you had Joe Thornton and Sergei Samsonov, and like
Right.
that team should have won a cup.
Correct,
And they
correct.
just
Well,
refused to pay anybody. So
we
That-
all-
that
we all
was the
look at
piece.
that. We all look at that, right? But just a quick side note. What did I tell you, Isaiah, about your goalie, Darcy Camper?
Oh no, you thought he was legit.
I thought he was legit, and I'm like, watch him get hot at the right time.
Well, dude, and I'll tell you what, and Joe, one of the best things last night watching Joe Sakic grab the cup again. That was like, okay, because the last time that happened, he took it, gave it to Ray. You were spot on. You got
But
to get it.
defensively, the Colorado Avalanche defensively shut teams down.
Dude, and when they picked up Taves from the Islanders, my buddy who's an Islanders fan is like, what the fuck did we just do? I'm like, welcome. Now you get to play with Cale Makar. Are you fucking kidding?
So here's the logistics of, we're talking about Delaware North companies. We're talking about certain players,
real estate.
Yeah.
Other things except the team.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now.
That's what pisses me off.
For certain players on that team that consisted of Andrew Ferentz, Mark Recchi, Chara, Bergeron, and Sean Gordon. You don't have those guys right there that knew they had the right pieces in play to basically form that group inside that locker room with Claude, because they were the closest to Claude than anybody else was in the entire organization. And then Recchi, as good as he is and as much as he speaks his mind, basically told everybody, because they had a really awful month right before before Savard got that concussion and was
right.
There was some other shit that was going on with that that was probably going to give him his outright release, because Nathan Horton wasn't having his best season so far. Nathan Horton had 1 assist in, I think, 25 games after he was smoking it earlier in the season. And then Recchi gets the key guys together, gets everybody together. And at the end of a loss, Recchi stood up in the locker room without Claude there. And never mind. Cam's banging on the door. And Recchi's like, I'm going to finish fucking talking here because we have the right people in place.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, they had every single right player in place. They had the right goalie. They had the defense that shut everybody down. And then everybody else went and did their job when it came to putting the puck in the net. All right, it's a little shaky against Vancouver, but it took that stand for Mark Recchi to be like, hey, look, this is what we're doing here. So fuck off everybody else. And it takes that type of person to put business aside and win for the team and the individuals.
Well, I don't think that's going to change. Who's going to be that person to tell them to fuck off now?
Right.
Like, seriously, and you shouldn't. And should you really have to tell the owner to fuck off?
No. I honestly think that John Cooper did the same thing. John Cooper, Stamkos, and a lot of key individuals for that locker room all communicatively opened up about what they wanted to do and what they had, and they excluded so obviously ownership can get in a lot of odd ways on how a professional teams obviously run.
Right.
It comes from the top down.
Well, we don't see it. We don't see it every day. We just,
it.
as fans, we're just, okay, this is, kind of happening, but you get frustrated as fuck. I can go
you
back.
You see it if you look back. You look back at the history of the decision making.
Yeah.
And if you're
When
a
was the
longtime
strike?
fan, yeah.
Strike was in what, 94?
Wow, which one? Baseball or hockey?
No, hockey.
Baseball was 94.
2004.
Baseball was
2004, and it was one of the best Stanley Cup finals to ever be played in 7 games. Now versus Tampa Bay.
Right.
I feel
2004. I feel like coming out of that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like coming out of that, now I'd been a few years removed from the Bruins, because when Bork left in 2000, that's where I went. But obviously I live here. I'm not going to fucking not pay attention to the Bruins.
Yeah.
I feel like they came out of that strike with all kinds of room under the cap and didn't fucking do anything with it. Am I wrong with that one?
Absolutely right. They let everybody walk.
Just to clarify, it was a lockout.
Okay.
It was a lockout.
But you still have money in the bank on the back side of the lockout, no?
No,
because
you
you were-
couldn't-
They
there's
were
certain
letting people
things
like
that-
Mike Knuble and Brian Ralston and all those guys walk, and then they came back with a bunch of like, people that work the concession stands.
Ugh, fucking pisses me off.
Some of
So
those
the
people do
lockout-
good work.
They
All
do
right?
at the concession
You know?
stand. We don't need you on the
You-
blue
Some of those
line.
people give me a little extra, pepper and onion. They don't just the concession
I
stand
want
people,
pepper and onion.
right?
But
Hey,
you're not throwing yourself in front of a 95-mile-an-hour slap shot up
No,
against
but
your
you are
goalie.
giving me a couple extra chicken fingers, and I appreciate that.
Oh, hold on. There is no
All
way
right.
that's maybe at the DCU Center, but there is no way that's happening at the Garden. They are under a close eye on how many.
You are
chickens they
paying
give
for
away.
every
Jeez,
bucket
and I
of
wonder
onion
who's
and
keeping
pepper on that thing.
I wonder who's keeping an eye on that. Same culprit.
Yeah. So
Dude.
like, remember when Jay Miller? Anyone remember when Jay Miller had a sausage stand outside of the Garden?
No.
He had a sausage stand. I did not know that.
Yes.
Really?
I was with.
Holy shit!
I remember going to the game with my brother, and he was really good friends with Mike Motto, and we ended up like getting tickets through Mike Motto because Mike Motto had just gotten drafted. So I remember like kind of walking down Friend Street, and Jay Miller's there, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, it's Jay Miller. Like,
You're selling sausages.
I'm like, this guy's selling sausages. And my brother's like, oh man, hey, my brother and I used to watch you all the time. We appreciate you and Bruce Shoebottom and all those guys. He goes, hey man, thanks. These are on me. Like, a guy before us got a sausage and he wrapped it all up and everything. And so this guy opens it up and he goes, excuse me, sir, like interrupting our conversation. Like, who the fuck is this guy, right?
Wow.
Having no idea who Jay Miller was. Goes, excuse me, sir, I wanted this sausage plain. Jay goes, oh, let me take care of that. Opens it up and wipes the peppers and onions off the sausage and gives it back to him.
And you
That's
can do that
awesome.
when you fought Bob Probert multiple
Right?
times.
Exactly.
Right?
Right. And
See,
my
I
brother-
thought you were gonna say like he took his face, grabbed his hair, and pushed his face onto the grill.
Better. Insult injury. Oh,
That's
I'm sorry
awesome.
about that. Here you go. Here you go, man.
I like that
And,
scoop. Fuck
the-
off.
The only
No,
time I've talked to
Jesus.
Jay Miller was when I was at the I lived in Falmouth for a brief time, and we used to go to what was it, the Parrot, I think, in Falmouth and Katomet, right? And that was his bar. He owned that place, and he'd come out and do he'd do the meet and greet thing. He'd walk around to the tables, say, how you doing? How's everybody doing? What's amazing is he had the same ass as LB. Yes, I was looking at Jay Miller's ass, but it's like that one.
Whoa.
It was still like, it's still stuck straight out and you could put a beer on it, And like he came over and I said, hey, I work with your buddy LB. He goes, how's that bastard doing? I mean, he was just like, he was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And the Parrot was a great place to hang out, except
It was.
they had a swear jar.
Oh, I would
So
fail in there.
it would get to be near closing time, and I'd be like, "Give me another fucking round over here," and they'd be like, and then I'd get in a fight because I didn't want to put money in the swear jar because I'd start yelling freedom of speech,
Shocking.
But yeah, Jay was always super nice to me and my wife. He was a good guy.
Do you ever hear about the story when he was him, LB, they're playing in Philadelphia at the old Spectrum. And Jay was never known for his scoring ability. And Jay Miller scores.
Of course not.
Jay Miller scores 2 goals in the second period, and they're going into the second intermission. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, LB's like, well, I hear in the background, hey guys, feed me. I'm hot.
Wait,
That's
LB said that?
And LB turns around and goes,
okay.
J-Bo? Really? He goes, yeah. Are you open? But it's like, you get those stories like as cool as they are, right? And I totally missed my plane one time when they had like plane tickets, and I don't know where my ticket went.
Fucking.
And I ended up like, it was a bad mistake. Like I ended up what the person that I met.
Maybe. What do you mean? Maybe you were
Game
banging somebody
in
and
the
you missed your
locker
flight.
room.
This sounds like an LB
And
story.
his
I
fu-
missed
Wait,
my
that you
flight.
met where? Met where? At the
I
terminal?
was in Chicago and
Strip club.
Rockford, and I remember getting stuck out there, and I ended up like missing my flight because all that they had given us at the time were paper tickets.
Right.
And,
What are
I
those?
totally missed it. Like they threw
What
it.
are
Like,
those?
I didn't have any money, so I move in with this girl.
Oh my God. So,
Shocking.
so you
And I
missed your
worked for a
flight and you just
construction
decide to
company.
move in with someone in Chicago.
Well, I
You
live here
really
now.
gave up, didn't you? You were like, I'm never flying again. I'm just going to make
I had
Chicago my
nowhere
home.
to go. I was like,
Cubbies,
I,
right?
I had
You're
nowhere.
just
I was like
fuck it.
Chris Farley. I was Chris Farley in Wayne's World 2 when he's getting yelled at, and he goes, "I got no place to go," like that.
I'm gonna go pick
You
up.
were doing fine.
I was Chris Farley, and I was looking for Wayne stock, man.
Jesus.
Oh
So
my
you just move
God.
in with this person you meet. Did you meet him at the airport?
No, I met him after I met him like during the game.
You met him.
Yeah, I met her during the game.
No, you said
Okay.
him. If you want to tell
No,
us
did-
something,
I
we'll
met
still
her
love
If you
you.
want to, if you can tell us, did you move in with Chris Chelios?
You did.
No. That
Hey,
was-
Wasn't
okay.
aged at all, by the way.
No. Listen, Chris Chelios and Mark Messier look good on the ESPN broadcast. They look good.
All
So
right,
listen,
all right, how-
if you bang Chris Chelios, it's okay.
Yeah, that's cool
Yeah.
with me, man. I
What
mean,
about
whatever you want to
this-
do.
I would think
He's a
if you-
beautiful man.
if you hit Messier and Chelios and Joe Sakic,
At the
I'd let you
same
hit-
time,
I mean, in one night.
Joe Sakic
Right.
aged a little bit. Mark Messier
Well-
is looks 60 his whole life.
if you did
This is-
that
this is-
while
this is
wearing
what- this is what-
skates-
This is what Joe's doing
Okay,
right now.
enough. Stop.
Hey,
Would
fuck you.
stop?
I'm going. Hey,
Okay.
Lucas, I'm going to Denver. You want to come with me? I'm leaving Wednesday morning. I'm flying out there for the parade.
Good. I hope your lungs are built up to speed.
They are. I was out there last Saturday for game 2, so tighten up.
There's nothing more
Yes.
manly than saying I'm going to a parade by myself.
I got to go out there. Nobody here cares about the Avalanche. I'm going with my brethren. I'm ready. I'm fucking ready.
Has so anybody so I another huge reason why Bruce went out to Vegas for Josh and I, knowing the individual, was for Tosi.
I was just gonna say Eric Tosi.
Yeah. So they were
Hey, Cassidy ended up with Vegas.
Yeah, he went to that's like
Is he
it was like 2 days later, I think.
Yeah.
After
Okay,
he got
I
let
missed-
go. Yeah.
I've been so dialed in with the Celtics playoffs and the Avalanche.
right.
I
Oh
paid
yeah.
attention to nothing.
Oh no,
I'm
it
sorry.
didn't take long, and I didn't think it would take long. 'cause
He's
he's a good coach.
He's the head coach in Vegas.
yeah.
Yes.
They got a
And-
good fucking team.
So like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Barry Trotz is coming here and blah blah blah. I'm like, Barry Trotz is not going to want to coach ever again.
Ever again, right?
Yeah, I think he's all like truthful. No, like honestly, like
No,
he was
done
the
it.
longest tenured coach in the NHL up until probably like 5 years ago.
Right.
And then he built up Nashville's system to where it was and where it is now. Did great with Washington. Literally manhandled every single team to win a cup with them. And then went over to the Islanders, where basically they had basically everybody over there
Yep.
was never expecting New York to do as good as they did, and they were one of the best teams in the NHL.
You know who I'm impressed with as a coach? We just played him, but the coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning is fucking solid.
Cooper, John,
That fucking
great
guy. And again, only just watching. And again, I'm biased. Love the guy who's coaching our team, but like, just handle yourself like a fucking professional. The guy, I mean, obviously he had one whiny moment after one game,
Yeah.
but like when he came out last night, because I sat up till 3:30 in the morning, shocking, watching the NHL Network. When he came out to do his press conference, he brought his entire fucking coaching staff with him. He lined them all up behind him and said, "Let's talk about this. Let's go. There's no script here. Ask me questions."
Right.
Just class act. And every single man that was standing right there, like, obviously they're fucking good because look what they did for 2 fucking years, right?
And
And,
it helps that he looks exactly like Michael Keaton.
Maybe. In Mr. Mom or Batman.
Yeah, or Beetlejuice.
No, but I love shit like that.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
You go back to what we're talking about with the Bruins. It's like, but I'm the opposite team and I'm watching, but I'm
Right.
watching because I'm like, you know what? Class act. I watched how he talked. I watched how they do. It probably annoys the shit out of him when the announcers like chat with them between fucking periods, but he was gracious. He was having fucking fun. And it reminded me of Pete Carroll didn't do well, obviously, with us here in New England, but what he did with USC and what he did with Seattle. I mean, a coach that can just, and you played in the sport, like, how important is that fucking coach figure for you as a player, like to fire you up?
You want to play for a guy that's going to do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, there's a point in time in the Bruins where they were going into the bubble and there was a lot of negativity surrounding the Bruins when Tuukka Rask on a Zoom call or a Zoom interview was wearing a Boston Police hat during all that stuff. And literally like, the coach, like Bruce was standing up for him. Everybody was standing up for Tuukka and all that stuff. And, it made things easier for Tuukka when it came to that. But when it came to the other team standing up for Tuukka, they just weren't there. But a guy like John Cooper would, even if Tuukka did wear a hat like that, a Boston Police hat, wouldn't have fazed him at all. He would have sidebarred everybody else and told them to shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Is what was going to happen. And it takes a man to do that.
Right.
It doesn't take a puppet. It takes a fucking man.
That's what impressed me about him, because as I watched this stuff, and we all watch hockey a lot, and to see the way he commanded each interview, the thing, obviously, and you watch the NHL Network, you're going to get every possible thing everywhere on every level. It's just, I love watching. I know Josh loves that shit. Mike loves hockey. Just watching that depth of like, okay, wow. Like, where did this guy come from? He accidentally got into coaching when he's a lawyer, right? And I think he was coaching. Isn't that now kind of sort of?
He played like he was lacrosse too. He was involved with lacrosse too. He was
right. Well, the story they were telling anyway was that
professional level.
Right, but he was asked to be like the coach of some like adult hockey league. Next thing you know, boom, off you go. Yeah. I mean, Bednar fucking only got in. Yes, he won the Calder, but Patrick Roy quit at the beginning of that season.
Well,
Bednar, and all of a sudden, boom, here they are in the finals.
Here's the crazy part about like where hockey is and how it's developed right now. And the logistics behind it now is that the speed of it is incredibly fast.
Oh, brutal.
Right? The skill level for that speed is incredibly talented.
Yep.
And to be where that is now, you need to have somebody that is up to speed on every single facet of where that puck could be on the ice, how you create your players, and where your players are going to adapt the quickest. We were starting to see that with Cassidy when every single line was working well, but all those guys were also playing for the coach. It didn't really seem like many people wanted to play for the team, but the reason why people as a whole made it believe that it was the team was because Bergie, and Bergie was the voice of that whole thing. You need that guy to drive the spirit of who we're playing for and what we're playing for. And we had that with Recchi, Chara, Bergie, Doherty, and Ference. Everybody else knew if they fucked up, man, they were going to get either a beat down or be like, well,
who's that voice now for the Bruins?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. It's just like, well, if you speak up, somebody's going to fucking beat on you and stuff, get like socially beat up. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Nothing.
Where Bednar got to see everything develop from an ECHL level to an AHL level, now he's got all the two most important tools to see where that develops. And now he knows how to build a team. He knows how to coach that team. And those guys right there with the veteran leadership they had, holy shit. You got for disaster to play against. I just fucking crushed it, man.
Well, listen. We were up against a fucking serious team that has unbelievable Stanley Cup final pedigree. There were two players on that fucking team. Barakovsky, who didn't play in the last few games, and Helm, who had been with Detroit. Outside of that, these fuckers had never seen a finals. That's why the first game they were just like and they admittedly were like, when it was 3-1, they were like, how do you not freeze? the fucking cup is in the building. Every time I see the cup, I fucking pee myself, and I don't even play the game.
They were so excited they dropped it.
That's right.
That's the best video.
But seriously, that's not the worst thing that's happened to that cup. Let's be real here.
Michael Ryder.
Come on now.
Michael Ryder put a good dent in the tip of the cup.
Oh,
it fell off a table with him.
I laughed so hard when I saw that because Johnson was getting interviewed and he was late. He was the last guy to scoot in, but was it Kubar or something? He fucking came, oops, bam, right into the pile. I'm like, well, I guess that's not the worst thing that's going to happen. But that was
played it off like he meant to do that. He just put his hand in the air like, I made it.
Didn't give a shit. Jesus, the cup should have dents in it for fuck's sake.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does.
What was that story LB told? Was it one of the Hull guys, Brett, or who's his brother?
Brett Hull and
was one of those guys that got the cup, and then LB was at his house partying, and LB got up in the morning and walked out and saw the cup at the bottom of the pool.
Oh, that was I think
Dallas Stars.
Was that the Dallas Stars?
Dallas Stars got stuck at the bottom of the pool.
Right.
I thought that was the Penguins. I thought that was like Yoggers.
That might. I think everybody's adopted that. Like,
it's probably not the first time either. So I'm just.
It's been around a lot.
It's been through worse.
I saw a video last night. Obviously, the Avalanche were in Tampa, and they fucking they were out doing whatever. And there was, I think it was what do you call it? Fucking Spit and Chicklets or somebody had a video of them getting back to their hotel at like 3 a.m. and and they're in their suits because they went out to some fucking swanky thing. And fucking Landeskog is just walking through the fucking lobby of the hotel. That's what I'm looking for when I go to Denver Wednesday and Thursday, sir. That's what I'm looking for.
So collectively speaking, when we're talking about like parades and we're talking about sports just in general, I think collectively, like a pretty good question to ask each one of you guys, basically, and Isaiah, like, so we got 4 of us here.
Yep.
I'll start with hockey. You know what? No, I'm not going to start with hockey. I'm going to start with your subject will be baseball.
Got it.
All right. And we'll hit every major sport here that we all like pay attention to. And I ask you just in a consensus, like, if you're a baseball fan, where do you stand right now watching, well, no matter who your team is or just a sport? Where do you see your sport trending right now? And where's your interest level?
And baseball's mine.
I'll tell you right now. As a baseball,
Mike Shue. This is actually better for you.
Yeah. As a fan of the game.
He jumped the line.
All right. As a fan of the game. All right. Yeah. I don't see it trending very well at all because baseball moves too slow for America. America's former sport is now too slow for this country because people. I just read recently there's a study. After 17 seconds, people start freaking out if their fucking website doesn't come up. Okay. So I blame a lot of things. There's a lot of things that
social media.
Well, no, there's a lot of things that created this impatience in America. Most of it digital, like social media, like just improved technology and computers, video games, things like that. People don't want to watch baseball because they don't like the pace of it. They'll go to the game, but they won't watch the game. At least here in Boston or Worcester, what they'll do is they'll hang out, they'll take a selfie going, "Hey, at the Woo Sox, y'all," and then they'll post it and they'll try to be cool about it. But nobody, there's a couple weeks ago, I went to the Woo Sox because Brian Bello was pitching. He is going to be, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a motherfucker. All right. I wanted to go to see him specifically. So I sat in fucking Larry Lucchino seats because he wasn't there that night. It's like upper deck right behind the plate. This guy's amazing. And I'm watching him and I'm like, got my chin on the fucking rail. I'm like looking at him. I'm trying to use my camera to get a closer look at him and shit. The guy's fucking amazing. I look around, nobody's paying attention to the fucking game.
Right.
And I'm just like, and I think it's because of the pace. And I understand that. You got football, you got basketball, hockey. All those sports are much faster and have a lot of star quality to them and a lot more drama that happens faster. And
Even
people want
football's too
that
slow
now.
for me,
So,
though.
so Mike.
Well, yeah, right. Football may seem slow, but
A
well, hold on a second, Luke. Let me put it into perspective. So
Yeah.
you're buying something on Amazon, right?
Right.
And you say, "Oh, I need these paper towels or whatever the fuck you're buying," and you click, "Yeah, buy," and then it's like they'll be there tomorrow at noon, and you're like, "Fuck, really? I gotta wait 12 fucking hours for my fucking paper towels? That's bullshit, man.
Instant gratification is what we expect.
Bullshit, you know?" And it's like, holy shit, dude, they're delivering it to your fucking house. So that's America right now. And baseball, with the way it should be played, not with a fucking clock counting down, a pitch clock or anything like that, the way it should be played is not conducive. Like, it's not entertaining, I should say, not conducive, but not entertaining to America, because it's not fucking happening fast enough. And that's the exact reason why I watch baseball, because it relaxes me.
Now, would you be in favor of them because I feel like they're always trying to change hockey to bring in new fans, and they've never really changed baseball. I mean, they still dress like it's the 1800s. But like, would you ever be in favor of them doing something like a baseball version of a shootout, like a home run derby?
They do that actually in the Futures League here in Worcester with the Worcester Bravehearts, which is you could compare it. It's the same thing as the Cape League. All right. So you got college age kids who are fucking playing their asses off trying to make it. And so we got one of those teams here in Worcester. And so there are games where they're going to decide it by a home run derby, basically.
Yeah.
So that's only the Futures League. At the pro level, no, fuck that. Play your 9 innings and get it done within the parameters. Make it happen. I have the patience to watch it because I smoke a ton of weed, but everybody else doesn't want to watch that. They want to watch the fucking 9 minutes worth of highlights on Google the next day or something like that.
So, Mike, if you would think about it this way logically, is there any way you can compare modern day baseball to where modern day AM FM radio is trending?
No, same thing.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, absolutely not. As I can totally compare it. Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's the same problem.
Right. Same problem. So it's like people aren't getting what they want fast enough.
That's what I meant.
And so AM and terrestrial, we'll call it terrestrial radio, because that's the term for radio that you still use as a transmitter in a tower. So and that's free, by the way. Right. What's so that? It's like no, I'm just saying that's terrestrial radio. It's AM, FM, and it's a tower, and it's free.
You're feeding it off the tower to your car to an actual radio, like no streaming, no bullshit. Old
and
school.
And the airwaves are
the
controlled by a federal agency because they are technically the public's airwaves. Correct. So yeah, absolutely, Lucas. You can totally compare that to baseball. People aren't getting what they want fast enough. They're not hearing the songs they want right now. They got to sit through commercials. And when that stupid ass DJ gets on and starts talking about where the best fried chicken is,
the worst.
They're just like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to go to fucking Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, whatever, to get what they want right now. I made a playlist where there's no DJs talking and there's no commercials. Why would I want to listen to terrestrial radio?
Lucas, the erosion of that started a long time ago. It wasn't like that was now, but what we're dealing with now, and we look at, again, these last few years have been very telling for a lot of things. How we view sports, how we listen to our entertainment. Netflix over the past few years was killing it in the stock market. Look at them now. They're down 69% because people want to go the fuck it back outside. Now, there's always going to be this cyclical thing. And I think, as Mike describes very clearly about baseball is America's pastime. We shouldn't go fucking with it because some impatient little bitch can't fucking, don't fuck with the game because you're too impatient. That's not my fucking problem. That's how the game is played. Now, and Mike will say this, I know this, money and dollars run the whole fucking thing, right? So if they're not watching and Geico ain't spending and they're over here in the NHL, it's going to change. Terrestrial radio, as Mike called it, because that's what it is. You've got other options now with podcasts. I mean, Joe Rogan's podcast is bigger than fucking any radio station, and he just sits there and talks to his buddies. It's fucking crazy. I don't know how they monetize it, but I'm sure they do. But it's just everything's gonna. I think though everything has its cycle of hockey from when you played, from when Bobby Orr played, Ray Bork played, to McKinnon now and these young kids playing. It's totally changed, and the speed is no question.
Well, it's a 12-month a year site. It's a 12-month. You play for 12 months of the year now.
Right.
It's never as long as that.
And baseball should be watched because to kind of tack on to what Mike was saying, I enjoy the game of baseball. I am a fan. I love hockey. Don't get me wrong, but dude, there's nothing better than on a certain day to either go to a game or just turn on Nesson and there it is.
Well, that's the crazy part about that is that we're all talking about baseball and radio trending in that direction. And those radio stations lose those listeners due to like Spotify, Pandora, Sirius satellite radios, podcasts of.
Well, can I say one thing before you go on? Radio stations haven't helped themselves in killing the content. Okay.
See?
And Mike will attest to this. And Josh has been in the business for 10 years. He can tell you that, look, when I started in fucking 90, for Christ's sake, everything, and Mike and I are the same age, everything was live. Live, local, like right now it's a little bit muggy and overcast where I am. I should be able to articulate that to the person listening to my show, right? If I'm doing a show and I'm here, it feels a little bit muggy in XYZ town, and where there's a little overcast, and oh, hey, today I saw the Masters or I watched that shit's gone. It's gone. Outside of shit. Right. Mike still has a blessing to do a live morning show. Yeah. But once you get to 10 o'clock in the morning, whoever the fuck is in charge across all platforms has said, pre-recorded. Well, you don't think I don't give a so that has hurt itself as a business. Right. And then you go and say, well, geez, I wonder why people aren't paying attention.
I wonder why Major League Baseball stadiums are drawing record low crowds, because they're not helping themselves.
You might have to try a little something different. Maybe don't change the game.
Because their promotion is, lacking. So they're promoting it. But they're promoting something America just doesn't find as entertaining as they used to. It used to be, you had every single town, no matter how fucking small. And I could attest to this because my grandparents lived in this town called Altman, Pennsylvania. All right. Population at the time, I would go down there and spend summers in like the 70s and 80s. Maybe 900 people. It was a town It was a town built by a coal mining company. They used to have the company store. There was a mine nearby. Everybody worked there. And when that mine
dropped, Shandor?
Huh?
Evo Shandor?
What's Evo? What's that? What is that?
That was the guy that built Dana Barrett's apartment in the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie.
Oh, no.
Indoor mining.
Nice reference.
Right? Yeah, good reference, man. He fucking baffled me on that one. But it's like, so like, every single town, that town had a baseball team. Yeah. 900 people in the town. They had a baseball field. Okay, they had the post office was in somebody's house. Okay, it was in somebody's house. You had to go to their house and open the screen door and walk into their house, and then take a left, and their little like side thing they built was the fucking post office. Okay?
Change the laundry for me, and then drop off your package.
It's like everybody knew everybody, and everybody took care of everybody's kids.
That's cool.
But they had a fire hall, a volunteer fire department, and they had bingo every Thursday night, at the fire hall. And that was like a multifunction place, but they had a baseball field that they kept immaculate. Wow. That baseball field, it had some grandstands that could maybe seat, I don't know,
12.
A little, right? A little more, probably like 20, maybe, but it was like, they kept that up because that team was a source of pride, and people loved baseball. They would go to these other little tiny towns in Western Pennsylvania and play. And so that was America's sport. And that was when there was only 6 TV channels, a couple of UHF channels. There was no fucking smartphones or anything like that. Right. But now you got to have it now. It's like, did you see Stranger Things? Oh no, I didn't see Stranger Things. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. Like right there. You need it right fucking now, right? Baseball is not that sport. Baseball is about strategy, just like any other sport, strategy and, subtlety and nuance and finesse, but it's at a much slower pace.
Right.
You're going to get this one in a second, Mike, but I'm going to ask Josh. Josh, do you remember when the Red Sox and Yankees heat of the rivalry was when they had traded and got Alex Rodriguez. Do you remember that?
Yes.
How can you define putting that into words of like, this is Yankees Red Sox at its highest platform? Like, how do you see that then as it would be now? Would it be as hot as it is now?
What year was that?
I don't think it would, because
2003, 2004.
Yep.
Because the Red Sox have won a bunch since then. Back
Well,
then,
let's just say they didn't.
I think it would be just as contentious now as it was back then. I remember
Right.
I clearly. People were
I think
there were that
rivalry
group of
is-
people that was like,
yeah.
"You're going to bring that fucking asshole to our team? Fuck that guy." And then there was other people, and I was included in that. This guy's fucking phenomenal. We want him on our team.
Right.
And they didn't get him, and they got rid of Nomar, and then things just started going uphill from there.
What do you think, Josh?
also when that happened, it's a little fuzzy for me because I was in 3rd grade, but you know.
I was going to say, hey, Lucas, you got to realize he's 30. So when
I
you're
know
asking,
that's why it helps us understand where he's looking at things as they were supposed to be at his.
well, no, go to the years when he is certainly dialed in enough with Bruins and Red Sox. Certainly
Right.
Bruins.
See, that's the thing, Josh. So when were you born, Josh?
91.
Yesterday.
Okay, so you're born in 91. So you were 9 in 2000, right?
Yes.
You turned 10 in 2001. So you never really, did you ever pay attention to the Steve Grogan years at
No.
Schaefer Stadium?
No.
There's a
Absolutely not.
whole
No.
generation that
Did you
grew
know
up-
there was
No.
a Schaefer Stadium?
Did you when
Yes.
the Patriots were consistently last place,
Awful.
Hey, don't forget about
Terrible.
Tommy Hodson.
right? You know, it was like there's a whole generation, right? There's a whole generation that grew
Of
up with
awful.
knowing nothing but the Patriots being championship level teams.
Well, no, I think I'm maybe the last when the team started winning. I was still old enough where it was like I knew that like, oh well, Boston teams don't win; they just break your heart. Like I remember
Because you were really a
Right.
Bruins fan. They blew.
Yeah, but still, it was like I
Same
was
thing with
old
the Red
enough to
Sox.
be like, oh
Right.
my god, the Patriots won. Like I remember them winning and being like,
How old were you in
You're joking.
2001?
what's that?
How old were you in 2001?
you were 11, right?
10.
All right, so you didn't really give a shit. But that was dude.
Okay.
They sucked so bad. I
Right.
started watching the Giants on WPIX.
Jim Plunkett. Poor
Awful.
guy. He was actually a good quarterback, right? He
Dude.
just didn't. He was just put into a terrible situation.
Do you remember PIX being able to pick up PIX out of New York?
At Albany,
I
that's
don't-
where
I-
it
no,
was at
no,
Albany,
no,
and-
TV station.
Yeah,
Because
at Albany.
the Patriots were so fucking bad. Now, my parents were originally from New York. They weren't sports people. They were doing their thing. But I would turn on these fucking, the Giants games, and all of a sudden there's Bill Parcells. You had fucking Phil Simms. You had Dave Meggett. Mark Bavaro went to my high school in fucking Danvers.
Bavaro.
Mark Bavaro. He was
Yeah,
Lawrence fucking Taylor. And I'm watching these games. And again, kind of like an Avalanche thing. Nobody's really making noise. I hated the Yankees and all this stuff. And I never minded the Giants. And I was like, okay, these guys aren't bad. It wasn't openly rooting
You
for
know,
them.
who won the MVP that year for that Super Bowl team, right? 91.
Who?
Otis Anderson.
Ooh.
See,
Remember that guy?
I'm like, who the fuck is Otis Anderson?
Well, the thing was, I was paying attention.
Sounds like
to
a
it,
blues guy,
And I
That's the
had-
lead singer of the Temptations.
like Otis
Right.
Anderson's greatest hits. It's
I
just
had
flowed.
no
know?
issue with the
Papa
Giants.
was a rolling stone.
Right?
Exactly.
Well,
I have no idea who that is.
Was his
Yeah.
home.
I had no
Um,
issue with
so-
with the Giants, right? Until, well, let's have the meeting. We were undefeated, and the thing, and
Yes.
then we lose 2 Super Bowls in the Giants. I quickly went, you know what? Fuck you. You're with the rest of the New York teams, douchebags.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, where do you think football is going to be?
Football's trending fine. Football's got no issues. Baseball's slow, but I don't think they should change the game. Football's fine. Everybody, dude, the NFL does a spectacular job of fucking
Yeah.
marketing. Even
Yeah.
by going after Tom Brady, that was an inside promo job. Fuck off.
Right. And you know what,
Everybody's
Isaiah?
in on it.
if I can just interject here for a second, I think the NFL took a lot from the WWE.
Yes.
And they created drama, right?
Yes.
They created drama, and I think the players are in on that. I think the owners are definitely in on that.
Danbury Trashers.
So while so while
Thank
you're
you,
going,
Josh.
the season's over, you're going through the summer, you're like, how are those Red Sox doing? Holy shit, Tom Brady's coming. It's like, so it's like I think they took a cue from the WWE, and you're absolutely right. From that, their marketing is fantastic.
The marketing, when I was working at EI at that point, and I was working at Entercom, and the year and a half of Deflategate, it's exactly what CNN, Fox, MSNBC are doing right now. They grab onto something, whether it's January 11th or unfortunately the abortion conversation or whatever hot topic it is.
January 6th.
What'd I say?
11th.
Oh, that was it. Oh, that was.
I believe that's Elvis's birthday.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. Well,
Okay.
hold on. I was going to go back. I was going to go back to January 6th. But
Okay.
But the point, but they grab onto things and just drill it into the fucking ground. And so, football, I think, has done a great job. The NHL, I think we can all agree. Certainly, Josh and Lucas, you and I, we can talk about this. I don't think what they're doing with their broadcast rights is all that fucking smooth. Like it was a fucking chore for me to watch certain games where TBS was one night, and that's over here on Fuck Boo and Fuck You YouTube and Fuck You. Like, dude,
Like
don't
a
make
scavenger hunt to watch a game.
And I had to jump on Sling TV. And you want it's like getting a fucking plane ticket these days. Well, you can get your prices, but then if you want to sit near a window, and if you'd like to have a glass of water, that's $75 more. I just want to go to fucking Denver in 2 days. Fuck you. But that's what it is. So I think the NHL has done. The NHL sport itself is spectacular. I think Gary Bettman's fucking blank. I think the NFL leads in how they dominate with what the NBA.
Yeah.
The NBA
they've overtaken baseball. They did that a few years ago.
No question.
As America's sport. Yeah.
Well, and the NBA is going to be a different. The NBA is going to be a different demographic by design because there's so many African American good players.
You know what? I don't think it's a wait. Hold on a second, Luke. I don't think it's a race thing, man. I think it's a class thing. I think it's mostly a class thing that people can't relate. I don't know. I feel like they are the most decadent and rock starish
NBA,
at least that they let people see. You don't see a lot of that in the NFL. You don't see a lot of that in baseball. You definitely don't see it in hockey because they don't make enough money to be rock stars.
They spend more time on social media and promoting their side hustles.
Right. So I think that
like sausage stands.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think it's
That's back to the hockey guy, though.
I think it's like a class thing on that one. Anyway,
I think there's obviously things trending in a different way where I think no matter what sport it is,
dude,
everybody I talk to,
the fucking OG, by the way, the OG.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Let's keep the pussy out of the picture.
In general,
hey, this is Cheddar. He's
interest on making the effort to attend some of these games. Just considering how much time's involved with setting it up and traffic and how much everything costs now. And
yeah, it's super expensive to be a professional sports fan.
Right.
It is. It's very expensive. But at least here in Boston, it is.
It's crazy. And as long as that continues the way in that fashion, yes. But like just to see just where things are and the interest of people, like, oh, I could give a shit less and blah blah blah. Like I've heard more about I could give a shit less from people that have been lifelong fans of some of their own teams, but
that's because their teams are fucking losing.
No, but these are people from Boston. These are people.
And they're not real fans.
You're not a real fan.
But here's the crazy part about it is that we talked about the NFL and how great they promote their game and what they do for their sport. So regardless of what the situation is, weeks 1 through 16 or 1 through 18 now, and then add on 4 more of those, call it 22 weeks a year, certain bars throughout the city of Boston will be filled with people wanting to see their team. I don't see it happening for baseball. I don't see that sure as shit happening in basketball. a little bit, but not as much. But I definitely see that happening every single weekend during football season.
Well,
maybe can I just say maybe you're not going to the right bars. Okay. I'm just saying there's a lot of bars in Boston, right? Some of those are baseball bars. Some of those are basketball bars. Some of those are fucking like, European
college bars,
soccer bars. You go to the Banshee in Dorchester every Saturday morning to watch soccer. Right. So you got to go to the right bar. You got to find out what the bar is to go. So just in fairness, Luke, that's like, maybe you're just not going to the right bar.
I would say the right bar to go to is the greatest bar. They're an everything bar, and they're friends of the show.
Yeah, and they're great.
But why don't they dump some money into us?
There's the promo.
Like baseball does, it's on all the time. It's on every single day. But for the one day that, that the sport of football has to capitalize, they do capitalize.
Yeah, and they do. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's for big NHL games. I swear the NHL and their fans capitalize on their games. But Mike, 100% with you, what you said. Yeah. The right bar, right time of the day, and time of the week. But that's a lot of games. 162 games.
That's also back on the bar because it's back to marketing. Market yourself. If you have 162 games, I was just going to ask. Right, if you have 162 games in a season and you have 80 whatever the fuck at home, then figure it out. Figure it out. Make it work. Now you go to Fenway.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. The bars can only they're handed this product from MLB.
No, I get it.
They can only promote it so much. Hey, come by, watch the Sox. We got 25-cent wings or whatever. But if people don't want to watch baseball, the root is at MLB. It's not really the bar's problem. It's the product that they're trying to push, right?
100%.
Well, yes, but you
want to attract people with the game and the sport you're watching, regardless of what it is. But the bar has to do a better job of promoting what their bar actually.
Right, if that's what you have and that's what you're handed, work it the fuck out. I mean, I'm saying until it changes, you've got 82 games or whatever, then go, or 81, go and figure that out. But if you go down Boylston Street these days, that is a sad shadow of its old self. Everything's
so sad, and it's really sad.
High rises. The fucking baseball tavern's gone. I'm not even sure what fucking river Jimmy's swimming in these days, but his fucking bar is gone. Everything's gone. It's all like there's
that's
Regina's.
because Fenway ceased to become a baseball park, and became a bar.
Yeah,
well, people just go to Fenway. It's the glorious cathedral of baseball, and I'm not saying that sarcastically at all. It really is. That place and Wrigley. Okay. Right. But people don't go there to watch baseball. They go there to take selfies. They go there to take clients. And once there's one raindrop that hits somebody's fucking arm, they're fucking out of there. And that's when you see the real fans who come down from the shitty seats that they've saved up for and come down to where those fucking people were sitting, behind home plate or wherever.
Same thing happens at the Bruins games. That's when I moved down to the premium section.
So we haven't really talked. Did you completed my 11th marathon with Matt Brown?
Congratulations, buddy.
Oh yeah, good job on that.
Yeah.
Lucas, you got to stop running marathons. They're bad for your health.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's your knees.
Your knees will give out sooner or later.
Your knees and your nipples, they're just taking a beating,
hey, man. As I would always say, Mike, hey, we run a marathon at 26 miles until our nipples are raw on our day off.
And we're back.
So they're going to be doing a 30 for 30 with us before next year's marathon.
No really? Shit.
Wow.
Yeah, well, ESPN has partnered up. So Channel 5 is going to be the leading channel.
Yeah, that changed, dude. Fucking WBZ had that for 27 years.
For a long time.
For a long time. So they got outbid. And, Channel 5 is going to find a way to bring that to better light. And I think.
Do you know people over there? Channel 5?
Yeah, a few. Yeah.
I know the person that actually put that for the last 27 years was behind the scenes working with BZ. They should talk to that guy. They're good people.
Well, they've teamed up with ESPN on this to try to make it more.
Oh, so they're going with the big kids.
they're going for the goal to make sure that it is more geared towards sports and, you know, what it is about the Boston Marathon. And like, you know, I ain't gonna lie. It's just, I think more and more do marathons with Matt Brown and knowing what his injury consists of. Like, you know, every time I think about it now more and more, like that kid's injury is still with the family. It still continues to persist as a spinal cord injury. And for the community that's surrounded him and everybody else, we're with this whole thing as we were since day one. And for everybody else to not know what goes into that. Well,
dude, to have access to 30/30 is gonna blow
that's huge.
That story up.
I'm really honestly hoping like it's as good as the Doc and Daryl 30 for 30 one, but really hard to compete with that shit. Hey,
well,
like
I don't know.
honestly,
I mean, are you doing cocaine with him? Because if it was, that'll be it.
Right. Yeah. That's a key.
No,
yeah.
I mean, you know,
You sure?
like
No.
as Daryl Strawberry said, you know, I tried cocaine once and I liked it.
So if you want to swing things into the while we're running, we do a couple bumps.
You know?
Okay.
By the way, if you have a chance, ESPN 30 for 30, Once Upon a Time in Queens. It is the 1986 Mets. I
don't want to fucking watch that.
Why would I want
to fucking relive
show's
that?
over.
Hold on a second.
Josh,
No, fuck you for even bringing that up.
off.
We were having a
Josh,
nice conversation.
Josh,
You
say
fucked
something
it
about
up.
Hitler. This show's over.
You're that guy at Thanksgiving that wants to bring up the abortion.
No,
Don't you?
we're done.
Fuck
No.
you.
The show's
Fuck.
over.
God damn it.
Close this.
Fucking.
We're done. See ya.
Wait.
Oh, he
Whatever.
left. All right.
look
so
at that.
Have
Look
you
at
guys
that.
seen the 30 for 30 about Hitler at the Olympics?
Oh my God, Josh.
Some American kissed him.
Really? I didn't think you could make it worse.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
he was in a box.
That's great news, Lucas. Seriously, that's amazing news,
Yeah.
dude. That's
Thanks, man.
that's huge. That's worldwide now. People are gonna hear this story worldwide, which is really
did we
important.
just get the breaking news, the official announcement of it?
I mean,
No.
Nah, he already told the sports hub.
yeah.
That's okay.
No, we were on Channel 5 last week. Oh, I hit a temper tantrum with Isaiah. He had.
Wow, Isaiah's really.
Oh,
yeah.
man,
Well, you know, it's.
Hey, I should have brought up something about the Quebec Nordiques and how shitty they were.
Right.
30 on that one now, do they?
Unlike me, he has never forgiven Buckner. That's all I gotta say. You know, like I've forgiven Buckner. I've moved
He's
on.
dead.
Well, you know,
Him and Helen Keller have the same thing in common. They're both fucking dead.
I waited till after he was dead to forgive him, but that shouldn't mean anything. Okay, that shouldn't mean.
You think
anything.
he's gonna chime back in? Because that would be awesome if he did.
He might. I don't know.
Oh, Isaiah. I thought you meant
man.
Bill
He
Buckner.
might have gotten his gigantic rope chain caught on his microphone and like sprained an ankle or something. I don't know.
Because it.
So anyway, Isaiah had to catch a plane because he's going to a parade in Denver. Happy Pride Month.
He's taking the Logan Express.
Yeah.
And he's going to Logan Airport so he can hear about his flight being canceled to Denver. Because that's all
Somebody's
that's
gonna have
happening
to
with
tell
the
him
airlines.
his earbuds are in because he
Right.
just got his show too soon.
So when are they going to start production on this?
They already have. I'm gonna
Okay.
And Josh, I'll send you a mic, a rough cut of just what it was, what they've actually started. So my buddy Mike Flanagan, Flano, has done. I'll get to that in a second. But he did a build up to the marathon this year, like a documentary. He just did a rough cut, and it's just been kind of like everything from Matt's journey from when his injury had happened to basically where we are now.
Before you continue, for people that are watching and listening, just briefly, what briefly what happened to Matt Brown?
So Matt Brown was a 15-year-old hockey player that had injured a spinal cord injury during a varsity hockey game while he was playing for Norwood High on his first shift. And he has a book called Line Change that explains everything that's happened since his line change, obviously, relating to hockey. But he has a book out there that describes his injury, his progression through his injury, his accomplishments through his injury, and where he is now. And Matt has overcome a lot of adversity with his injury to prove that he is still the same person he was, and he is still the same person he will always be now and forever. So, you know, that is a lifelong endearment of endurance and something that he has continued to strive on, to spread the intestinal fortitude for others to drive on and to fight on through all adversity. And we will continue to do that every single year. And we will continue to do that to spread that, as Rick and God bless him, Rick Hoyt and Hoyt, as they did for so many years for the marathon. In other ways that people could only, you know, as we're talking about how to promote bars and stuff, we're going to try to promote on how to be, you know, a good friend to one of your best friends, and how to overcome your spinal cord injuries. And we have run 11 marathons since 2012, and it is literally the best day of the year for us. So if you ever wonder what it's like to play in a Super Bowl, call up one of your friends who's in need, or a Stanley Cup final game, or a World Series, or an NBA Finals game, or anything that you really think is big for your life. Call up one of your friends who is going to be that person that you know you can help out. Then go run a marathon on one of the biggest days of the year that Boston has to offer. And let me know that feeling when you hit that finish line, because there is no other feeling that I could explain on how that feels when you're pushing another human being for 26 miles and the emotions that are incoming with that. So Matt Brown is just like you and I, as he would always say. And more or less, we've become a team that we've actually gotten to know each other a hell of a lot more over the last 2 years, and obviously reading his book. So it goes beyond hockey, and it goes beyond friendship at this point. And you're always asking me, Shu, Jesus Christ, do you age?
Yeah, you don't. You know, I believe you're an alien.
Yeah.
You're an alien and you don't age. And then you do incredible things like this, you know, and your military service, and like, you know, you didn't need high school because you're an alien. You were way above us as far as education. You started your own business, which was successful and everything. And now you're doing that too. So I wish we could put a picture of Lucas up when I first met him and Lucas now. It's the same exact person. He looks exactly the same. I met him at a rally, and where was that? Melrose? Were we in Melrose where I met you?
No. You were in Dedham doing the walk for change.
Oh, that's right. They were right. That's right. You look exactly the same. It's crazy. You gave me t-shirts from your company.
Yeah.
You know, which I wore proudly because I just admire you for what you did and everything.
Oh, thanks, man.
But I think this 30 for 30 is going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be inspirational, which is the most important part. Right?
We just want to deliver a message for people to not lose interest, you know, no matter what the circumstances are. You know, just don't lose interest in what you're doing. Like, it's real, like lately, honestly, it's real easy for people to lose interest on anything they're doing right now. Like, but honestly, you look everywhere you go for certain jobs, everybody's hurting for employees. Everybody's hurting for literally anything. Our supply chain has gone to shit. Everything is just where gas is and stuff. And we can't change that, but we're going to need to just try to stay positive and influence that in a means of not losing interest, because we still live in one of the greatest countries in the entire world. And I don't get to meet people like you, Josh, and Isaiah.
Even though he just fucking left like a total pussy.
I know I get him now, huh? I only have to say Candyman once with that guy. Or Beetlejuice, whatever. You know, look, I mean, every single government job just seems to have an opening where we are. And, you know, for people that really want the job to really make their lives better. And Josh, I'm sorry, man. Like, I remember how hard you worked to be in a position having to get vaccinated and everything. And shoot, you continue to strive on the morning show, man. And when I can dial into 104.5, I'm the happiest guy in the entire world.
I'm not there. I'm at 100.1. So that's probably why you're not hearing me. That's likely. Okay.
All right, my bad.
That's okay. Just go to 100.1. And I mean, those people 104.5, they're nice people, believe me. And you can probably get them.
101.
You can get them closer to Boston, but if you need to get me, you got to come to Worcester and park outside of our building.
Fuck.
And then what I'll do is I'll just yell out the window. All right. And that's probably the best way you can get us.
Oh, you know what? That does sound like Shu.
Or you can download the app and get us anywhere, really,
yeah, no problem.
like any other place. But still, I appreciate that. But you know, you're absolutely right. It's like the whole losing interest thing, right?
Yeah.
There are things we lose interest in, whether it be sports, music, food, whatever it may be, TV, right? Everyone's obsessed with TV now because there's a lot of great TV out there, but there's things you shouldn't lose interest in.
Yeah.
And that's helping other people, inspiring other people,
right?
You know, and just doing what you're passionate about. And I think when you're talking about, well, there's a lot of jobs open and stuff, there's not a lot to be passionate about. You got to make money. You got to pay the bills. I understand that. But what are you passionate about? And I think there's a lot of that for somehow, I don't know how, I don't have the answers, has been squashed. Well, you know,
the crazy part about it is it's like, you know, political or not, like you really, the more and more you want to focus on that, you're going to lose interest in how much of love you have for another person, love for your wife, love for your girlfriend, love for your family, but more or less love for your country, you know. And, you know, like as soldiers and stuff, like whenever we always had a soldier, Marine, airman, a sailor, whatever the case may be, you know, like I would always tell you, like, for whatever the case was, when we left and joined the service of that branch, like, you know, obviously we hate what's in front of us, but like the truth of the matter is, like, we loved what was behind us. Like, we loved the fact that we were going to go, like, in my mind, we were going to go play an away game and we were going to come back with something, you know, whether it was the pride for our country and the love for our friends and family, and, you know, to show that admiration for those things. It led to something different. It led to that fire being continuously ignited and a way to get bigger. And now it just seems that we're losing touch with that. And when I always will tell somebody, it's just like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's just like something's just not ideal right now. And, you know, the food's not great. The shower's too shitty. I don't like my living conditions. But you know what? When something sucks, I like it. And it's just like, you think about like the hardest day we've had on this world, and for somebody like Matt Brown or somebody like in a military or somebody like who's struggling with family, like that, there's that part of like somebody who's struggling where they just didn't like the food they ate or something, and
didn't like the service.
Like, right. I didn't like this and I didn't like that.
Their TV show didn't ended the way they wanted it to. Right.
Compare that to like a day that somebody battling cancer has, and
right.
That to a day of somebody with a spinal cord injury, or like go into the thick of the things, like what a Vietnam veteran had to endure when he came home to Vietnam, when he was never welcomed home, and then a battle of or at the Chosin Reservoir or Gettysburg or whatever. Like, our hardest day on this earth isn't anything compared to those things. And the whole thing about that, and my whole point is with that, is that, you know, what do they make you do in the military? They make you do shit that sucks. They put you in groups that make you do shit that sucks, right? And when you finish boot camp, you want to go to go to special forces school. You want to go to like Ranger school or
where they make it suck even more, right?
Right.
Not just, I'm talking about, I'm not saying that sucks. I'm just saying you don't like doing stuff that sucks, then maybe special forces is not the right thing for you, right?
But the thing that builds a bond of military personnel is combat. And the worse your combat is, the more it sucks. But you find a bond with those people, and then you work from that. And it's something that's to be admired about, I think, through and through every one of those individuals, just not yourself, because that's really what it comes down to. So when it sucks, I like it. So I bring it. Fucking
and you're sharing that experience with Matt Brown.
Well, yeah.
I'm not talking about combat, but you're sharing an experience with him by running that marathon. Right. And you're kind of like working off each other. Like people in the military do. You're working with each other so you can go home. You can, and so that's the same thing with Matt Brown. Like you're working with him, he's working with you, and that's the inspiration.
And you're both strong people because you were in tough situations, which makes you a stronger person, because good times create weak people, and weak people create bad times, and bad times create strong people, and strong people create good times.
They do.
Holy shit. That was, give me a second to process that, Josh. That was like, holy Jesus. That was kind of like
you look at the generations, like the greatest.
That was like a Rubik's Cube.
They went through World War II.
Right. To make it better, to make the world better. Right. Yes. Yeah.
And then things get comfortable, and then it creates weak people. And then you have, like my generation who's complaining about like losing followers, or I don't have that many followers on Instagram.
That's not all your generation, though. I mean, there's still in every generation.
Everybody, but I mean,
the older generations like to rip on the younger generations and say they don't know shit. And that's been the story of humanity on this planet, but it's like there's still people of your generation and younger generations that are still doing amazing things. There's still people, doing stuff in the military, or they're becoming first responders, or they're working hard to find a cure for something, or they're helping someone in the community get a hot meal, and a place to sleep or whatever. There's still people that do that. Unfortunately, with, like you were saying, followers and stuff in social media, it's easy for people to kind of make a blanket statement about Gen whatever, X, Y. Yeah, right. But still, there's like people like, I don't want to brag, but my daughter, she was involved in this organization called Simon Says Give. And their whole thing was every fall they would give out backpacks filled with school supplies for kids who couldn't afford them. And it's like, they did all the work, and these were just kids. These were like middle school, high school kids. And this is what they did, and they put these backpacks together. They formed an assembly line. They worked real hard, and they got them to people who want them. So, you can believe what you see. Like someone says, oh, these millennials, they don't know shit. Well, that may be true for some, or you, Josh, but, there's other millennials out there. There's people of all ages.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying for things. Like that there's like nobody that's like doing actual stuff, but like I'm definitely guilty of this, where it's very easy for me to get like depressed and down and like stressed out about things that really don't matter. And then it takes something like me walking into Dunkin' Donuts or something, and I see somebody that doesn't have legs or something. I'm like, what am I like? I'm walking around like, and like, I don't know how they lost their legs or if they were born without them, but something traumatic could have happened. And I was like, really, nothing bad has ever happened to me. So I just need to shut up and be thankful for everything that I have. Or like when I get obsessed with like the podcast numbers or not being where I want to be in my career. And then I'm like, I never even thought I'd be able to do any of this. Like I should just be lucky that I'm even where I'm at.
That's a good way to look at it. And you got to look at things like, sure, I'm not happy with a lot of these things. How much of them really have an effect on my life?
Yeah.
All my podcast numbers stink, right? Okay, well, does that keep you from being a good father? No. It doesn't at all. It has no correlation whatsoever. It has
Well,
nothing
if I
to
take
do
it out
with,
on my daughter, then
well, then all
Different
right.
story.
Then I'm going to put a call into DC.
12-foot
as soon as
ceiling's a
we're
little
done.
different from a 10.
Right. But it's just like you gotta kind of pick what you're gonna be depressed about, or I guess you gotta pick what you're gonna be unhappy about. And some of those problems are, you got to really look at them. You got to step back, take a breath, and say, well, I didn't get to the store in time to get my fucking, Totino's pizza bites.
Yeah.
And now my evening is ruined. Is it really though?
But it's like even stuff like where lately I've just been in a very dark place because I've just been feeling so depressed that I don't own a house yet. And a lot of that is out of my hands. The market is crazy, but I'm just like, I've been feeling like such a loser that I don't own a house and that my daughter doesn't live in a house. But there's so many other.
That has nothing to do with who you are.
I know, but it's easy to feel like that.
Right. Because you're surrounded by it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that, how come it's that keeping up with the Joneses thing that's been kind of forced down our throats for decades. And it's kind of like owning a home doesn't make you any more of a better person than renting. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't make you a better father. It doesn't make you a better family member. What it is what the choices you make. It's not about buying a home,
Yeah.
So you shouldn't, this is just my opinion. You shouldn't have to worry about it. Buying property may help you financially later on and stuff, but is it going to affect the way that you interact with your family?
No.
Right. Yeah. But like even that, like I get so depressed about that. And then I look at everything else in my life. I'm like, yeah, I might not have a house, but I still have my family. I have my wife. I have my daughter. Like I have this. You
have your very unfriendly dog. Yeah, sure, man. You're doing all right.
Oh, the one that tried to kill you.
Lenny. Yeah. Lenny hates me. Lenny friggin' hates me. I get it. I don't look like, I look suspicious. Sure, the dog's probably got good sense. That's all.
He was stressed out. There was a 6-day-old baby in the house.
I get it. I get it. All right, listen. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
No, I think you just nailed it on the head, Shu. With everything else, you don't really have to worry about all those things. That's not going to affect you being a family man or anything like that, because of everything that you have as an individual is where your values are at. And like I really think
values, right?
You're a man. You're a man of your value. Then you're going to progressively get better. It's not going to happen overnight. But we all think about like hard things. Like I'll be honest, like. I still look at you guys as the both of you as like icons still on the radio to me, of like the aspect of like, well, how do guys like that turn their life around when their whole career was just with their rug pulled out from underneath them? Like you're at a radio station, you've invested everything that you have set out to do. And then that's the
one day.
Yeah. And one day.
With the signing of a signature.
Right.
Gone. Right.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's the door behind us after the rug was taken out. And I think of this in a way of like, well, you know what, Josh, like you have done well with this podcast, going to continue to do well. And I'm going to make sure of that. And Shu, you continue to just crush it because there's no other radio voice out there like yours. As you would say, add bacon. Like, I always love the fact that like I can always talk to you, Mike, about like how much I like. You obviously knew that like Incubus was like one of my favorite bands, and then I go on to the side with Josh. I'm like, hey Josh, like that Bill Burr skit was fucking hilarious, wasn't it? Like we can relate to these things.
Yeah,
because the value of fucking being happy.
Right.
But like, if I can't talk to Mike Shu about bacon, Incubus, and how shitty the Red Sox fell apart that year when Bobby Valentine was just like,
holy Jesus,
chicken go.
That was just, to me, that whole season was just some kind of German performance art project. It wasn't even a season. It was some kind of art project where John Henry was like, okay, I'll take $30 million if you want to use my team as an art project. And some German artist like, excellent. I need you to send an email to Bobby Valentine. He is the world's greatest clown. You know, it was just like, that was crazy shit, man. That's fucking,
and, you know, and that's just how that shit goes. And then Josh, you know, I get a kick out of like still like talking about the money in the walls and the house out, man, you know, like there's some other shit. But like the fact that the two of you guys, even Isaiah, fed off of the fucking Chuck D story, and you still throw that one-liner in there. It's
such a great story, though, man.
Yeah, well, I get it. I have a couple more, but I can't get that for like another
Mookie
time.
Wilson coming up.
I love that guy. First off, I love that guy. Second of all, I didn't realize like how much of a class act he was. Like, I'm like, hey Mookie, I did a high school play project, and I was part of a band. Well, actually, it was a Temptations redo. And he looks at me and he goes, like, he's talking to somebody. He goes, wait, what? I go, yeah. I'm like, I had a wig and everything, man. It was awesome. He looks at me and he goes, hold on, I gotta hear about this kid. And it was, I'm like, I was playing Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and it was by the Temptations. He goes, you know, that's my favorite song. I'm like, well, I did not know that, Mookie. I didn't even know who you were until about like 2 minutes ago, until I told you I was part of a high school play.
Hey, man, that's a lot of people's favorite
on
song.
The Temptations. Look, I know, I get it.
That's fucking hilarious. God.
It's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, I had a wig and everything. And he looked at me like, what the man, you crazy boy. But
that just proves how much Mookie Wilson inspired people in very different ways. He inspired me to throw a standard issue state school desk through a screen window from the 7th floor of my dorm, where others were more creative and pursued a musical career. You know, so
yeah,
that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
You know, next time when we get a chance, I have no problem letting the cat out of the bag on a story that I actually had with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, Jesus.
Hockey involved?
Yeah, it was a little bit of hockey.
He's a big hockey kid.
Yeah, he is. He likes hockey, and we'll just save that for like another time.
All right, more to come on the next.
Yeah, there is more
episode.
Man. It is great. Yeah. Well,
Lucas, yeah. What's the ETA on the 30 for 30 with you and Matt Brown?
What I'll do is I need your I'm gonna get your email, Josh. I'll send you an email with the rough cut of what's to come.
And then do they need to interview us about you?
Yeah, dude, we're available.
Yes.
If they want to ask us any kind of character study they're doing on you. You know.
That was just as funny as Mookie asking me what play I was in. Hey, what play? What? I was the lead singer of the Temptations that time. I play and I had a wig. Like, you ever get like the dumb eyes look? Like, hey, what?
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What? Like,
yeah.
No, I'm like, well, you know, for people like I could be like kind of dumb sometimes and like be caught off guard. Like, I remember having my first job at Papagino's, and I sat down next to somebody on my break and was like, hey, like, how you doing? Like, I'll believe it. Sure. Remember, like, Manti Te'o? He was talking to that fake girlfriend for like 2 months.
Right.
So, like, if you think that guy can talk to a fake girlfriend for 2 months, you bet I'll believe anything you tell me. So I'm sitting down, like, next. I'm like just eating my meal. I think I had the spaghetti basket with me, and I'm like next married couple, and it's just like, hey, how you doing? Oh, hi. I'm Lucas. Got the name tag. Oh, hi, Lucas. I'm John. This is my wife, Jane, and their last name was Doe. And I believed him. And that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. John Jane Doe. Fast forward like just a few days ago, I'm just thinking, I bet you they were just kidding about that the whole like as long as far apart as it was. And like even if I was to bring it up to him, be like, hey, remember that time at Papagino's you told me you were John and Jane Doe?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even remember.
Lucas. They were swingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were rolling out the red
them.
carpet for you.
Right. I had to Google them, and it turns out they were both murdered.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
But they did have a pineapple on their front door.
And they fucking used that name in the movie Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal. He was fucking John Doe in the recovery ward there. And the guy's like, John Doe. I'm like, fuck, that's him. I know him.
Lucas, there's a rule here on the podcast. When Steven Seagal is brought up, that's when we end it. I'm sorry.
I didn't know he was even alive until like a few days ago.
Yeah. Well, he's the new Dalai Lama. So just keep an eye out, when
Remember
the next
his
one is
fucking
born.
show that he had?
What show did he have?
He had a fucking real life TV show.
Oh, was it?
It was an unscripted show, and the show started with him looking in the camera going, I don't know if you knew this or not. For the last 20 years, I've been a cop.
Oh, that fucking
What?
He hasn't been a fucking cop. Are you kidding me?
And Shaq is a cop too.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but he has the most unlikable quality in any individual I've ever met, like my entire life, or her.
He's just, I'm a cop. That's infuriating. Yeah. Well, a Ranger gave me a t-shirt, so I'm a fucking Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Because you wear camouflage clothing doesn't mean you were in the fucking
right.
Sorry.
Look, Lucas gave me a Ranger t-shirt a long time ago. It's Ranger and had the wings on it and stuff.
Yeah.
I stopped wearing it because guys like, hey, you a Ranger? And I just started feeling bad. I'd be like, no, a Ranger got me this t-shirt. I felt bad, and they weren't mean or
a free drink.
Nobody ever said, oh, you shouldn't be wearing that because you're not. No, everybody was friendly, but I just started feeling bad. I was like, I'm not a Ranger. Probably shouldn't be wearing this t-shirt.
No, you're fine, man.
I just like, that's okay.
I'm going to send you the email and the rough cut stuff for now, Josh. Make sure you do that with Mike. Is he on that email chain, or just start an email test chain with all of us?
The one with the link on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on there.
Because I can send the direct link from my Dropbox to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, just respond to that email.
All right.
Nice. Well, Lucas, thank you very much for joining us today, man. We appreciate it. Always a fun time with you.
This
great
is a great
stories.
fucking time.
And it's a very rare occurrence that we actually talk about hockey on what was once a hockey podcast.
Was
a hockey podcast. Yeah.
Well, as you brought up the Futures League, so I am coaching in the Cranberry League baseball.
Oh, no shit. Nice.
Yeah. So I got all college kids on my team, and these kids are vying for a spot. And, I was always doing two sports at once. So
yeah.
Long story short, it's the Cantonays are surging this year.
The Cantonays. Right on, man.
And we're getting hot at the right time, man. So
nice.
We'll fill you in as our progress continues throughout the season.
The Cranberry League, is there any team named the Zombies?
No, but I heard
missed opportunity.
I heard that by the Cranberries one time, and I got the Cranberry League.
All right, man. Lucas, thanks a lot, man. Keep us up to date on the 30 for 30 and the Cantonays. All right, man.
I will definitely do that, and let Isaiah know that it's okay.
That's okay. He's a sensitive man. But he's got his rope chain with his Avs logo on it. He'll just masturbate to that for the rest of the day and feel better about himself tomorrow.
It's understandable.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks.
All right, boys.
All right. See you, dude.
Have a good one.